Hello, everyone, and welcome back to La Vida Fútbol. My name is Laureano. If you're new to the channel, I am a soccer coach from California. I'm Mexican American, currently living in Germany, and I currently also coach in Germany. I am based in the Hanover area, and yeah, if you are actually you know following La Vida Football YouTube channel, then you know that this channel is focused on helping coaches develop and giving coaches ideas and also book recommendations and recommendations on just overall game things and coaching at different levels. Uh, so I think my next video, I mean, after this live chat with you guys, live video with you guys is going to be, or I'm going to continue with the tactical videos. So I've been getting some requests in regards to which videos to make, and I've had a few recommendations, or not recommendations, but requests uh, on the actual tactical videos. The latest request was focused on uh, making a video that focuses on when the left and right back should attack and make the attacking runs. So I mean, very briefly, the game is changing, and the game requires a lot more from a team. Demands a lot more. A lot more running, a lot more players in the attack to actually penetrate through the defensive lines. And yeah, the left and right back are essentially just another attacking tool for teams nowadays in order to make them or keep them competitive. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that video. Should be coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks. Um, that's a little bit about what you guys should be expecting. Some more tactical videos. I'm currently reading this book right here, The Champion Mind. So how great athletes think, train, and thrive. So this is actually a book for athletes, and I mean, coaches can read it as well, of course. And I like it because, I mean, so far I like it because it's well, I think it is focused towards the athletes themselves. I think coaches can also benefit from the um, from the little excerpts that are presented in the book, and also we as coaches can use these tools or these kind of tips that are offered in the book to express to our players. um, and I think that's always a beneficial thing, is for us as coaches to be able to offer mental skill training and sports psychology ideas, and present those sports psychology ideas to our players so that they can essentially build their game and take and essentially take themselves to the next level, right? Obviously they need guidance. Obviously, if you're not familiar with sports psychology and the different um, angles that you can go about implementing sports psychology into your team environment, then obviously you should take some time to look into the different ideas. But books like this can definitely help you guys kind of get other ideas, or just simply give tips, or just simply to help you get into the right state of mind for when you are out on the field, for when you are coaching, for when you are delivering your messages, and kind of going about all of these things with confidence. Okay, so as you guys saw, the title of this is Start of the Season, uh, Start of the Soccer Season with Luis Laureano. And basically, what that means is, uh, tomorrow I start the season, the first game of the season, first uh, league game of the season with my team, and that's actually one of the reasons why the videos, the tactical videos, or just all videos in regards to this YouTube channel have been a little bit more. There has been a little bit more time in between, the videos, because I would actually like to give you guys at least one video per week. And in the last month, it's been quite challenging to do that. So our training season started the third week of July, and the week before that, I was in Greece, and I went to go visit my coaching mentor, my coach mentor, Adriano, with his football school. And his football school is Culture FC. And this football school, they offer a football culture in Southern California. Um, Great atmosphere for player development. And anyways, so I went to Greece to meet him and the group that he took to Greece. And yeah, there was a lot of football involved. There was a lot of training and games, practice games, and just cultural activities that took part. And that was a great experience. Anyways, but that was one week. And then, like I said, the week after was the start of our preseason. So then, we were doing four days out of the week, 4 days out of the week, sometimes five, right, for the first 3 weeks. And it was very demanding. So I didn't have too much time to make these videos and post them and be as consistent as I wouldn't have liked to. But at the same time, I guess you guys benefit from me coaching because obviously, as you coach, you learn more, you get different ideas, um, and that's actually something that I'm also excited about. Because there's so much that now that the season starts, now that I've been a little bit more active with being involved at games. We've had 5 games leading up to tomorrow. So I think the boys. So I coach an under 19 boys team, and I think the boys are getting um, in rhythm, right? And I think we're in good rhythm for the start of the season. So it's been a good run up until now. It's been a busy run up until now, and that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. And what I would definitely like to have you guys do is watch football. Watch soccer, watch football as much as you can. So that you guys can also learn, right? So you guys can also learn from the game itself. Uh, that way, when you guys watch my tactical videos, for example, you guys, have an actual visual of what I'm talking about, right? Because the tactic board is only helpful if you can also see that, and how these markers are actually how they are associated with actual players on the field, right? Um, because it's a whole different environment once you're on the field. Like you have your tactical ideas, you have your tactical plan, but the game is so dynamic. The game is it's always changing. Every second there's a different situation, and so that's something that is important for you guys as coaches to kind of see the changes and how it happens so fast, right? So you go from being in possession, and then 3 seconds later you're trying to defend a counterattack, right? Or the other way around, right? You are defending, you recover the ball, and you're immediately trying to go forward, or depending on the defensive stance of the opponents, perhaps you're bringing the ball back. But all these things that we will talk about, coming up in the next few months, I think is going to be important for you guys to also watch some football, and not even only professional, but also watching youth teams, amateur teams, um, so that you guys can also connect it to whatever coaching situation you guys are in. And yeah, watching that also allows you guys to pick up on ideas on what you could coach, right? On what you guys can take to your training session, and what you guys can implement during your season. I mean, for me, the way it works, at least my my process when creating a training session. So I'm not just kind of finding. Um, I'm not going through books, to look at the perfect training plan like that. That just doesn't really work, right? If you're doing a training camp, for example, like a summer training camp, then these exercises are good, right? Because they're if you have a book um, that you can use, then during a training camp, then you can do that, right? So let me, for example, I'll get a book that I think that you guys can check out. It's a book that I bought here in. Actually, it's a couple books. It's a couple books that I bought here in Germany, and they are, just training books. Really, they're books. So this one, and that means football training for every day, and essentially every day of the year is the idea. So as you can see here, it says die 365 besten Übungen. So it says it's the this book has 365 of the best exercises, right? So that's a selling point, whatever. But so these books are I mean, good to have, right? But they shouldn't be what guides your season. Okay, so that shouldn't be that shouldn't be the case, right? There's times where you have this book, and the book is actually separated into it's separated into different categories. So you have the warm up, you have conditioning, technique, little competitive games, tactical exercises, things for the goalkeeper, and so you have all these different topics, right? And if ever you need to get an idea, then you can refer back to this book, or whatever book you guys have for coaching, and pick up on some ideas, but adapt it, right? You want to modify it and adapt it to your own team, to the players that you have, right? Like, for example, if you have like a like if you watch the video about building from the back, and you want to use the midfielders, or the attacking midfielders, or whatever, however, depending on how you play. Like if you play a 4-4-2, for example, then you have your left midfielder and your right midfielder, and you want to use this player as a player to kind of move the ball forward with one touch. Then it'll be different depending on the height of your player. It'll be different depending on the level of quality of the first touch of that player, right? So if your player doesn't have a good touch, then you don't want that player to try to control it, bring it down, and then move it forward, because that player is not going to be able to do that. But if your player has a high jump, can jump really high, and can win a ball up in the air, then you can find a way from your build-up play to try to get the ball to that player, so that they can get the first header to move it forward, right? And then let's say on the other side you have a player who can really bring the ball down, control it, and then move forward, without breaking the tempo of the attack. Yeah, well then now you have a different variation of what you can do to build the your play and to attack or move forward. So that's why I say, if you have these books, so I have another one here, right? Spielna's football training. So this one says 350 training forms for all levels of performance. So they have these nice titles, right? They have these nice titles to get you to buy the books. I got the books just simply for like what I said earlier, really just for ideas. But this is not how I create my training sessions, and you shouldn't either, right? If you are, for example, a youth coach, and you don't have too much experience coaching, then perhaps getting started and just building your coaching confidence um, with these books would actually be something beneficial, and it would be something that you can definitely use. So in that case, I would actually recommend it, right? Especially if you're new to coaching and um, you don't exactly have the experience to be able to see your team play and then see, okay, this is what we're missing, this is what we're going to work on, this is the session that I'm going to create for it. Then then don't try to do that, right? Then you might end up making things worse. So then you go into these books and you go to passing, so improving our passing game, or just passing exercises to help the youth players just pass with different situations, right? Moving forward, with a defender behind, or receiving the ball and then having a defender in front, um, or just different little passing games, right? You create little gates and have the players like passing through the gates and getting points, or dribbling and then passing and then also with the points, or even just having a player stand in the middle and then trying to play a little game back and forth with with little competitions such as that one. um, and then you work on you're working on different things and different parts of the games. Competition, number one. Or not number one, actually. Number one would be, in this case, passing would be your first thing, right? Number two, you're working on this competition aspect. And number three, the players are also looking at measuring their themselves, measuring their touch, the weight of their touch, the gate, or whatever place they're trying to place the ball at. So you're working on several things, several mechanics that are important for youth players, and you can get those through these books. um, so that's something to consider, at least for your coaching situation. But anyways, so going back to how I kind of structure then. So for the season, now that the season starts, so up until now we've worked on tactical training sessions. Well, actually, up until now we've done conditioning, we've done technique, we've done tactical things, and now the tactical things are just kind of every week, just kind of tweaking a little bit so that we can add, right? So we can add to what we have. Not nothing like transforming the team in 1 week, but adding just a few things every week, right? So whatever you identify during your last match, you try to analyze that. And if you have video, if you record your matches, even better, right? So that you can actually have some proof of what you're trying to convince your players of, right? Because if you're not convincing in your explanation about what needs to get improved, then you show them, right? If you have video, you show them and you say, look at this is what I'm talking about. This situation right here, this is the one place that I was talking to you guys about. Or I mean, this is if they're not convinced yet. But if you want to convince them beforehand, say, okay, well, after watching our video or watching us play in last week, I noticed this and this and this, and today we're going to work on improving that. And fortunately for me and my coaching situation, I have help, right? So it's not just me. If it were just me, it would be very difficult to accomplish, um, what we're trying to do for the season. And so having another coach there with me, and having a manager, and then also having someone who is working on our um, mentality training. So we have a mentality coach, um, mentality strength coach. So we have a trainer team, with working with our group, and that helps, right? That helps because everybody has their roles, and whenever we need to work on something specific, then I don't need all the players, right? I don't need all the players. I just need the players that we're working with, right? So there's days where I work with, let's say, one half of the team, or not even half, just maybe 5 players, 6 players, and we work on something specific for their position. And the other group, they work on some other aspect of the game, maybe passing, maybe decision making, maybe possession game, maybe transition game, but more in game form, right? So making activities that are related to the game, and that allows them to play. Not always with goals. So you have different types of goals that you can also implement. You can add dribbling zones. You can add the gates like we had last time, but instead of passing through, you have to dribble through, um, or you have to make a 1-2 pass through the gates, or you create corners, and you have to pass into the corners, or you have to pass into zones, or you have players on the outside, and they have one touch, or they are players that, if you pass to the outside, they dribble in. So you have all these different forms of games, and but you should also have a purpose, right? So if you're so let's say, for example, with us, like one half, or let's say we're working with the left and right backs, yeah, or the left and right midfielders, or both, or both positions. So then we have, with one group, we will have something like 8 players, just the ones that we need, and some defenders. And then the other group, we will have maybe something like 18 players, or 15 players, or whatever. And then they have the game form on one side, and then we have the tactical training on the other side. And this tends to work out if you have the help. If not, then you have to try to figure out a way to um, get both groups going, or just simply work on a bigger scale, right? You work with all players, depending on how many players you have. Maybe you're training with 9 versus 9, and you're trying to still present the ideas, but just now you do it with more players, and you do it with game form. um, and there's always ways to do it. I mean, not all players have to play, right? So perhaps you have, maybe, because you have 20 players, you instead of having all 20 players there, you play 7 versus 7, or 5 versus 7, or whatever it is. And then so that right there is 12 players. So now you have 8 players that are not doing anything. So you can just get those players to do a little possession activity on the outside, 6 versus 2, and then when it's their turn, boom, you switch, 8 players out, 8 players in, and then they also get the tactical training that um, that is necessary, right? So that everybody plays, everybody gets instructed on the tactical goal for the session. um, But those are just some tips that I think, um, that everyone can essentially follow, to make their training sessions successful. Okay, but anyways, yes, we've had a few practice games. We've had a tournament. Um, we've had a tournament, and we did fine. There was 24 teams. We ended in third place. So that was a good overall performance from our boys. And but now the season starts, and we focus our energy there. And we that's essentially the only tournament that we have left, because on Wednesday we played a cup match against a team from one level higher, um, and we ended up losing. So that was a pity, but that's part of the game, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and you can't dwell on the losses. You move forward, and then you try to focus now the energy on whatever is in front, and for us that's the league now. Um, but that's essentially it. There, there's different ways to focus your energy, because so the way it works on for us, we have um, this the typical season where we play uh, every team home and away. So it's a typical football season, right? So we start our first match, like I said, tomorrow. So from August, and then we end with the last game in June. And the way it works during the winter is because the due to the weather conditions, we take like a break, but the break isn't we do nothing, right? It's more like we actually we play an indoor slash futsal season. And I say indoor because I think here in Germany, the futsal situation is still, it's still not the way it should be. I think at the youth level, futsal is, they call it futsal, but it's, like you can't, you're not really playing futsal if you're playing with a wall. And that's at the youth levels, they use a wall. They use one wall and then one side without a wall. But having your 9, 10 year olds playing with one wall, they're gonna always try to go to that side, right, to feel safe, and to use that as their safety net for if they make a bad pass. And that's a bit of a problem that I find here in Germany. But at the older age groups, we do have futsal. But then it's very difficult to get ready for that, because all the tournaments, or not all, but a lot of tournaments, they don't play futsal. So whenever we come into competition, we're actually in a different rhythm. We're playing indoor soccer for tournaments, just because the number of futsal tournaments are scarce. So we're playing indoor tournaments, and then competitively for title in our region, we're playing futsal. So it's a situation where we have to try to get futsal matches or futsal practice matches, to still have a futsal rhythm rather than an indoor rhythm. But anyways, that's the situation here. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like the futsal situation is still nice because it starts December. So the last league game of the year is sometime in November, and typically the last 2, 3 matches actually end up getting canceled because of just rain or just bad weather conditions here. And then the futsal season starts sometime in December. Then you have a little break, obviously, for the holidays, and then you're back at it at a tournament or something in the first week of January, right? So it's just continuing. It just continues, and there's always something going on. The breaks are small, um, but it's important to stay in rhythm, to stay active, to keep going, and then get ready for the return leg, right? So that's what's great. Like I said earlier, you play everybody home and away, and first place goes up, and then the bottom, at least in our division, three teams go down. So then that's kind of the situation. So in our league, we have 12 teams, and like I said, from the 12 teams, one goes up, and then three go down. I mean, it could be that for whatever reason, one of the teams that goes up doesn't want to go up, or they're not they don't have the infrastructure to move up, and they decide to stay. And sometimes a second place team would also make the leap up to the next level. Um, so that's kind of a little bit of what the season's about, and I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I've been looking forward to it, and I think that you guys, you coaches, would also benefit from your start of the season, because then you're active, right? And now then the videos that you watch here, that's only boom, ideas. Okay, improving my coaching. How can I do better? What can I do better? What ideas did I pick up from this video? Boom, 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 boom. Reading this book, reading that book, getting ideas from this book, that book. Tactical sessions, training sessions, exercises, right? You can get all of those, just through simply browsing. And then I hope that I can be that person for you guys, so that you guys can improve, right? That's essentially the goal, so that you guys can benefit, number one, from whatever you pick up here, and then improve, and then continue improving, right? And then we do that through learning. We do that through just trying new things from experience as well. So the more you experience, the more you can adapt to yourself as a coach, yourself as a person, right? And the more education you have, and by education, I don't mean just reading books, right? I mean just your game education. Just watch football. Watching football, you see what is right, what is wrong. um, and I've said this in a previous video, or maybe more than one, that as a coach, you shouldn't try to play like a professional team, but you should try to play as best as your group can. So if for example you're a fan of Barcelona, yeah, it's nice that inspires you. But if you don't have the players to play like them, then you shouldn't try to play like them, right? This is going to lead to frustration. Trust me, that's something that I know. That's something that I've experienced, because I grew up playing in a predominantly Hispanic community, and then playing club in a more diverse environment. So it was very different, and I grew up watching Mexican soccer. So so I have that influence, and I came to Germany, and some of those ideas I tried to continue here. But if I don't have the players that are used to playing this type of football, it's not going to be easy, right? So I know my players now, after working with them for a while, so I know what we can do. I know that there's certain styles that wouldn't really uh, complement us as a unit to move forward. So that's something that is important for a coach to understand, that not not every style, not every formation or system of play is going to accommodate, or is going to be able to be accommodated to your team, because of the player that you have, the talent that you have, or the lack of talent that you have. I mean, that's possible, right? And you should be aware of that. You should be aware of your group. You should be aware of the attitudes, the personalities, and also the roles. Yeah, the roles of your team. Like, does everybody have a role in your team? If not, then you know is that hindering them, for them to not have a role or an identity, or some sort of place in the group? Like, all these things are things to consider. um but that shouldn't be a reason why you don't watch football. You know what I mean? Like, you watch football because that's what we do. That's what, that's our passion, that's our love, and you should continue doing it, right? All I'm saying is that if you want to play like Barcelona, then most likely you should be, you know at Barcelona, part of a coaching staff, and then you can do it. um and if you have players that can perform such movements, such actions, and have the tactical and technical ability to perform, uh, in such a manner, then do it. Then do it. Use it. Take advantage of it. Right. Just know that you will have to be ready to be able to teach more, if you have the players that can do that. Right. So this is going to require a lot more from you, as a coach, so that you can adapt to the group that you have, right? Because at the end of the day, we coaches are educators, we're trainers, we are also learners, and as our group grows, then we need to grow as well, and if anything, we got to grow faster, right? So that we can stay ahead of the curve. um, right, and then that respect will come, right? And that's that'll be there, with 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 you being able to share, right? With you being able to teach, for you being able to talk about experiences, and being able to offer those things. Okay, so I mean, I've been rambling for about 38 minutes, and I think that's it. It's very early here in Germany, so I suppose that's the reason why we didn't get too much activity. And also here in Germany, there's a lot of kind of games that are going on. So you know uh, the German second league have games at 1. It's 12:35 here, so I can understand not having too much viewers, but yeah, I'm excited for whoever's gonna revisit this video. I'm excited for anybody who is joining our group, our team, uh, here with La Vida Futbol, and who is seeking to improve their education, their coaching education, and to learn, and everybody who's been recommending or requesting certain videos. Like, thank you guys. Without you guys, we can't move forward, and therefore I thank you guys. I hope you guys continue watching. If and if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe to the channel. And if you have topics that you guys would like for me to cover, then simply comment that in one of the videos. Comment that here. There's also a comment section here that you guys can hit that up on, and let me know. I usually try to respond to you guys within 1 or 2 days. um, but like I said, in the last month, it's been a little crazy with the coaching. Been very busy, tired, but still moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, my body will adjust, my body will adapt, and your guys's will too. And stay healthy, right? Coaching under 19 boys, like, they can do a lot, right? so for it's important for me to also stay healthy, so that I can move as well, right? But anyways, thank you guys. If you're still watching, you know what I mean. Like, thank you guys. Like, I appreciate the support. I appreciate, you guys being here, and continue to learn on your own. Continue to learn here. Continue to read, and most importantly, watch the game. Watch the beautiful game, and you guys, that's probably, if there's one place where I would say to be instead of here with La Vida Futbol, here with me with La Vida Futbol, it would be watch a game. Watch a Barcelona game. Watch a Manchester City, Liverpool game, like Tottenham, or even Brazilian football, Colombian football, Mexican football, even MLS, right? So just wherever you're at, just watch, right? So that you can benefit, and you can continue learning, because I think that's probably the place where you can benefit a lot from, right? And also, if you're watching local games, youth games, amateur matches, yeah, you get to see a lot of what what they can't do, right? And that's probably even better, because that is what shows you that that you can help, right? That's the places, those are the areas where you can help, and that's what we want. That's what we want to do. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, so next time that I go live, you guys get notified, or next time I post a video, you guys get notified. All that, yeah. Let's continue growing. Thank you guys. Peace.